Good morning, grade 3s, and welcome to our answer key video. I hope that you have done all of your homework, and I hope that you are ready to listen for in case you have made any mistakes when you were busy with your answers. Let's check our answers together, grade 3s. Alright, in our language book on page number 118, remember what we did here was we were making questions out of these pictures and also answering them. So here we're going to say and write. If we have a look at our first picture, we have a bottle and our keywords is water bottle. So here we have to write a sentence with water and bottle. Now these sentences are statements and not questions like we made questions over here. So our first one is going to be, there isn't any water in the bottle. See, our bottle over here is empty. So there isn't any water in the bottle. If we have a look at picture number 2, we see that there is a plate with some bread on it. So our keyword is bread and plate. Now let's have a look at the sentence that we have to form. There is some bread on the plate. There is some bread on the plate. Now here we need to do number 3 for ourselves. So let's have a look at the picture. Here we see a bowl of fruit. So the two words that we have to use is fruit and bowl. So our sentence then will become, there isn't any fruit in the bowl, but there are some fruit in the bowl. You can make your answers whichever way you would like. Yes or no? Only thing you need to use is fruit and bowl. If we were going to make this a positive sentence, then the sentence would be, there is some fruit in the bowl. There is some fruit in the bowl. And our negative statement, there isn't, is and not, isn't any fruit in the bowl. Alright, let's have a look at picture number 4. Here we see a juice glass. So we need to form a sentence with juice and glass. That brings us to, there isn't any juice in the glass. There isn't any juice in the glass. Alright, so if there was some juice in the glass, our sentence would be, there is some juice in the glass. Alright, picture number 5, here we see that there is a picture of some toys. So our two words is toys and shop. So our sentence becomes, there are some toys in the shop. In our picture number 6, we see that the two words that we need to use is fish and pond. Remember from Millie's diary, the fish pond in the garden. So we use these two words and our sentence becomes, there aren't any fish in the pond. There are not any fish in the pond. Aren't. It is a negative sentence. Let's have a look at picture number 7. Here is a grey coat, and the two words that we need to use is buttons and coat. So we can say, there are some buttons on the coat. There are some buttons on the coat. And if all of the buttons had fallen off of the coat and the coat did not have any buttons, then the sentence will be, there aren't any buttons on the coat. So now here we have a look at picture number 8. It's a little box And the two words that we need to use is soldiers and box. So our question number 8 then becomes, there are some soldiers in the box. There are some soldiers in the box. And what if there were no soldiers in the box? Our sentence would be, there aren't any soldiers in the box. Now, if we have a look in our practice book on page 94, let's remember that our helpful hint here, Q stands for question, N stands for negative or not, P stands for positive. So, here it says complete the sentences with some or any. There are fish in the pond. There are, it's a positive, there are, and we are going to have a look at that. Then when we see, I can't see what apples on the tree. Can't makes it a negative sentence. Then in question number 3, we see, have you got what trees in the garden? Have you got? It's a question. Then we have question number 4. The baker has not got bread. Not means it is a negative sentence. I've got what money? Let's go shopping. It is a positive statement. I've got. So, if we look at what the answer is going to be for question number 1, we see that there are some fish in the pond. There are some fish in the pond. Let's have a look at question number 2. I can't see any apples on the tree. I can't see any apples on the tree. Question number 3 we have you got any trees in your garden? Have you got any trees in your garden? Now let's have a look at question number 4. The baker has not got any bread. The baker has not got any bread. And question number 5. I've got some money. Let's go shopping. Now in question number 2 over here we see make sentences like the example. I asked you guys to make some sentences. Number 3 was the sentence that you needed to make. I hope that you all wrote in pencil so that you can erase and correct if your answers are not right. So let's have a look at question number 1. Here we see a plant in a vase. So the sentence will be, there are some flowers in the vase. There are some flowers in the vase. Let's have a look at question number 2. The picture that we see here is a tree with some apples on them. So our sentence will then be, remember our countable and uncountable we use is and are. So here we have the apples and our sentence will then be, there are some apples in the tree. There are some apples in the tree. Now the sentence that you guys needed to complete is sentence number 3. Here we see a loaf of bread. So our sentence will then be, there is some bread on the table. There is some bread on the table. Now let's have a look at our language book, page 94. We are busy with question number 3. We see make questions like the example. So we need to ask a question. If we have a look at question number 1, we see that there is some money. So, let's ask, have you got any money? Have you got any money? Let's have a look at sentence number 2. Here we see some sweets. So let's have a look at our question. Have you got any sweets? Have you got any sweets? The person can then reply, yes, I have some sweets, or no, I don't. So, the last one, here we see it's some ice cream. So our question will then be, have you got any ice cream? Have you got any ice cream? Let's have a look at question number 4. Make negative sentences like the example. Here we have a verb to help us create our sentence. Our first question, we have see and some birds. So, I can't see any birds. I cannot see any birds. So in question number 2, we need to use hear, and we see some music. So we are going to say, I can't hear any music. I cannot hear any music. And for 3, we have find. Here we have some gloves. So, our negative sentence will be, I can't find any gloves. I can't find any gloves. Alright, grade 3s, thank you so much for listening to our answer key videos. Great job, and thank you for doing your homework. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.